What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, Create Space. The link will be in the description box below as usual. This video is entitled Bipolar Black Empowerment. And the reason I say that is because one thing about our issue of sometimes being unified, sometimes not being unified, is a bunch of sabotage from ourselves because we say collectively we want black empowerment, which is basically us being self-sufficient, completely self-sufficient. But there's some people who go about it in these bipolar ways that are just sabotaging to the process on both sides, whether you're talking about somebody who's about black Americans or Pan-Africanists. Sometimes whether you're talking about people who conservative or liberal, whether you're talking about people who are pro-patriarchy versus pro-matriarchy. You can make a case that people want empowerment, but in a bipolar type of way. Like, there are people who want us to get our stuff together and stop having a victim mentality, which I agree with. But the irony of that is that would be bipolar. Some of those same people who believe in Darwinism, survival of the fittest, they want black people to not be victims, but not do exactly what victimizers have done to get to where they're at. They want Darwinism in the sense survival of the fittest, but they want a watered down version of black survival of the fittest because then it's unfair to all the other groups of people who don't have any rules or don't play by any rules. And see, that's the bipolar black empowerment thing that I'm talking about. Like, you can't have it both ways. And then there are people on the other side of that who they want Jesus to handle it, but they're bipolar because Jesus is going to empower us to do great things, and all we got to do is pray. But they're looking for people who actually put in work and have tangible resources and the ability to do things in this reality. So they're bipolar because they want Jesus to empower us with just a magical snap of the finger, right? But they're calling on people who aren't Jesus when things go left, and they're like, you should have been there, you should have done this, you should have done that. But yet they want the us to be self-sufficient, which is crazy. You got some of us people who believe in supporting each other, support black business, support black entrepreneurship, support things that black people are a major part of a business that might not be black owned, right? So that influence can hire more black people to get in that position. But these very people won't support that type of thing. Like, people have an issue with black empowerment, but they have an issue, I'm not buying Jordans because that's a Nike owned company, but you don't have a problem buying Harachis. You don't have a problem buying Air Maxes. It doesn't hurt you one bit, if you were buying I don't know, I don't know all the other shoes. But if you bought any other type of Nike, yo, I'm cool with these. But Jordans is your problem. So you can't necessarily be for black empowerment because every black business owner is not going to be a perfect individual to your standards. And the people at Nike aren't perfect individuals to your standards, but you buy their product. So that's another thing, as far as standards go with that, you know, the white man's ice is always colder. So when these people, and then these same people were like, why don't we have this or that? Well, you don't support this or that either. So how is your bipolar ass gonna take all your money to another community and then complain that your community doesn't have anything when you don't want to support people in your community that produce things that your community and people's outside of your community can frequent and actually add money to the community in itself. Same thing with the shea butter thing. This is only supposed to be for black people. Well, I mean, you don't have a problem buying Pantene. Never, you matter of fact, you want them. Could y'all make something for me? Shouldn't y'all want black businesses to be so successful that other groups of people say, can y'all black people make something for us too? I mean, but as bipolar black empowerment, at least to me. Um, Same thing with, we say families, family situation could bring us up to empower us. But you got women who say, they don't have enough men who are protecting and providing. And okay. And these men say these women are so delusional and superficial, we can't build anything with them because they just want you to build something for them to basically waste away on Instagram and social media to say I got something and by the time it's time to pass these things down to the next generation, people are going to start with zero. And it's like, that's not true. I mean, you got to ask yourself one major question. Would you marry a man who wanted all the benefits of being a husband, but wasn't a protector, wasn't a provider, didn't validate or your beauty or your presence, but he was like, do everything a woman should do everything a wife should do, and be my ride or die woman. And by the way, I ain't you handling all the money and bill stuff because I ain't working. No, you wouldn't want that. On the flip side, a lot of you women are telling men, I'm not submitting to no man. So how you gonna be a wife if you can't submit to your husband, which was your boyfriend, which became your fiance, or man, which became your fiance, which became your husband. So you don't want to submit to a guy that's supposed to be the head of the household, right? But you want to be married to him, which creates, you can't create a family like that. You can't create a community because you can't get to the family part because it's sabotaging the empowerment of black families and black relationships. But like I said, bipolar, black empowerment. Another thing that seems crazy to me is the backward scale of who to exalt and who to demonize. What I mean by that is this. We shouldn't have a culture where drug dealers are looked at as entrepreneurs. Now. Like now. We shouldn't have a culture where we want athletes to be businessmen. They're athletes. We want entertainers to be developers. They're entertainers. That's asking too much. While in reverse, the people who are actually the great minds of your community, you don't want them. He's a developer, and I'm gonna get to the rest. He's a developer. He's not cool enough. He can help you build a community. This guy is in the finance and banking. He ain't got swag. He can help you keep the businesses afloat. You know, this guy here is actually a restaurateur that owns multiple restaurants and is branched out into other businesses and is a successful businessman. Mm, but he just don't make me. I just don't like the way he sounds when he talks. Jesus Christ, y'all stupid. But then you're looking, how come these athletes and entertainers and rappers are not building a community? Because they're doing their occupation. They're doing what they got paid to do. They're doing what they got rich and famous for doing. Rapping, entertaining, and playing sports. You know, they're not Howard Hewitt. I'm just saying. So it's a bipolar empowerment. And here's the thing. Because we talk about kings and queens, right? The reason why kings are important is because kings are from the manifestation of a builder's mentality and a developer's mentality, and he's the blueprint for his kingdom, how to keep it going and growing. That's what a king does, grows a kingdom. You know, one king finds the place and starts to create it, and then the princes who become kings subsequently after that, their job is to grow the kingdom for all of the people in the kingdom. But our quote unquote kings that plant their flag and start with their small kingdom of being a house and then want to expand out, we don't want them guys. So how empowered can we be if all the kings that actually have built kingdoms on small levels, we make excuses for why they're not good enough? So that's what I mean by bipolar black empowerment. And we wind up listening to the wrong people to get the right results, and it never works. Politically speaking, there are things that conservatives do right that can work for us. There are things that liberals do right that can work for us. The problem is everybody's dug into one side. So you're only going to get, we're never going to get ahead, because when the conservatives are right, the liberals sabotage it. When the liberals are right, the conservatives sabotage it. Meaning there is no progress ever. You know? Or the progress is extremely slow. You know? When conservatives say, look, man, these people, the way conservatives does things, it helps businesses. True. Liberals say the way liberals do things, it helps socialism and people to stay afloat until they can get on their feet to create businesses. True. But nobody puts a time limit on either thing. So when it comes to us, what are we're shooting ourselves in the foot. You know? And the question is, at the end of the day, do we really want to get ahead? Because the way we're doing black empowerment is one step forward, two steps back. And then we wonder why we're not getting ahead, because we're bipolar with it. One step forward, one step back, one step to the left. Like it's like electric slide progress. And you wind up in the very same spot. 2 times to the left, 2 times to the right, back, back. You still in the same damn spot. So for me, you know, that's how it looks at times. Like our black empowerment is bipolar. We can add a lot of things to this if you want to. But we out. Peace.